Hello everyone, welcome back to the video series of the Object-Oriented Programming with Java. Today's topic for this particular video, that is the exception handling. I am your instructor Mr. Ankit Patel. So let's start with the outlines. So today's outline for this particular video, that is what is exception and what are the different exception handling mechanism is there. So first of all, we discuss about the what is exception. So exception, it is an abnormal or and runtime error that is occur during the execution. So normally there are the two types of error is there. The error that are occur at the compile time and the error that are occur at the runtime. So there are the two types of error, but if you are talking about the compile time error, the program will not execute until and unless you are not solving the compile time error. But in case of runtime error, it is not like that. Suppose if there is any runtime error available in the program is the program is executed. So for that you need to use the concept of the exception if you want to handle the runtime error. Now sometimes the runtime error will be displayed like in the form that you are not understanding that what type of error in our code. So for that we are using this concept that is called as an exception handling. So again there are the two types of exception is there. First one, that is a check exception, and another one, that is uncheck exception. Now if you are talking about the check exception, so the exception that is checked at a compile time, and if you are talking about the uncheck exception, the exception that is that are not checked at a compile time. So what is the difference between the check and uncheck? So if you are talking about the check exception, it is similar type of compile time error is there. Now if I am giving the example, like if you are not handling the IO exception is there, then interrupted exception is there. In a multi-threading we are using. We are also using in a database connection in the Java. So if you are not handling this type of exception in your program, at that time compiler will generate an error, because this type of exception we need to handle, because the data, if you are talking about the file management, the data are coming from the outside of this particular file. So is there any possibility that might be a file is not available in our code, in our PC? So that type we need to handle this exception. That's why it is called as a check exception. Now if you are talking about the uncheck exception, now uncheck exception example is, suppose if a number is divided with the 0, so at that time compiler will not check that if is there any number is divided with the 0 or not. If is there any possibility at the runtime, it will display an error, and that type of error is called as an arithmetic exception is there. So there are the different types of exception class available in the Java. You can use that class so that you can easily check it out which class is used for the handle the exception. Now next topic, that is the exception handling mechanism. Now what are the different mechanism? So first one, that is a try catch block. Now you need to use this try and catch as a combination. There is no only try is available. If you are using a try, there must be a catch available in your program after the try. So you need to specify those actions in that particular code. There is some chance to occur the runtime error. That code must be placed within the try block. And similar, if you are checking that type of error will occur in that code, that action you will specify in the catch block. So this is the next, that is a multiple catch is there. You can also define a multiple catch after the try. Then the nested try catch is also there. Try contain another try catch block also. Finally block is there, throws keyword and the throw keyword. So these are the mechanism, different mechanism. These 6 mechanism we are using for the handling the exception. So let's start. The first one I am discuss about the what is a try catch block. So try catch block, so this method catch an exception using the combination of the try catch keyword, and as I told you, the code in a try catch block is placed around the code that might be generate an exception. the code within the try catch block is referred to as a protected code, and the syntax of using the try catch block is like following. Suppose if you this is a syntax, first you need to specify the try, then the protected code, then after the finishing of the try block immediately the catch block is required, and according to the error you need to just pass the class name, that is the exception class name, and the object of that particular class. So this is the syntax for the try catch block. Similarly, we can also use a multiple catch in our program. So a try block can be followed by the multiple catch block, and the syntax for the multiple catch is similar. The single try is there and the multiple catch we can use in our program. I am showing just only 2 catches there. Even you can also use a more than 2 also. Then the next one, that is the nested try catch block. So as a word tell, nested means what? A try contain another try. So a try block within a try block is known as a nested try block in the Java. So the syntax is similar. One try block is there. In try you can also just mention out the different statement. After that you can use another try also, and the statement 1 again that contain different, but in nested try you need to specify the catch also. So there is not only a try is available, the combination is a try and catch. So the nested try catch is completed after the outer side of the try, right? We require again catch for that, and according to the catch we are using it. And the next one, that is the finally block. So finally block is not handling anything, because this is a block where each and every time it is executing. So what is the requirement of the finally block? Means suppose if you are using a finally block at the end of the catch, so if an exception is generated, according to the catch block will be executed, even the finally block is also executed. Suppose the exception is not raised in our program, so the catch is not executed, but the finally block is executed. So finally the statement written in the finally block is always executed. So what is the requirement for the finally block? So let's discuss. The finally keyword is used to create the finally code block of code that follow the try block. A finally block of the code always executed whether or not an exception has occurred. As I told you, using a finally block allow you to run any cleanup type statement that you want to execute, no matter what happened in the protected code. Like cleanup type means, suppose if the file is open, so you need to close that particular file. Suppose if you are talking about the database connection, if the connection is open, you need to close that connection. So like that type of code, you need to just write it down in a finally block. So this is the only use of the finally block. Again I will also show you with this all this with the programming. So my next video for this particular session, that is my programming session for the different mechanism, and next one, that is throw and throws keyword. So what is the use of these two keyword? And mostly the important question that more normally asked in exam, what is the difference between throws and throw? So now if you are talking about the throw keyword, throws, so throws it is used in a method declaration. So if a method does not handle check exception, I am talking about the check exception, not talk about the uncheck exception. So now if a method does not handle a check exception, so the method must be declared it using the throws keyword. Means suppose if the method contain the code like the multi-thread, we are using a program for the threading also, a program for the file management also. If a method within a class contained that type of code, so at the same time you have the option, either you can use a try catch block within a method, or you can directly throws a specific exception. So that will help lot, the code will be reduced. Why? Just we are writing a single line. Suppose if you are using a try catch block, you need to just write it down a multiple line. First you need to just write down the try, then after try you need to write down the multiple catch. But in case of the you are using the throws, in just write down the void, then method name, after that throws, just write down the multiple class name, array index out of bound, arithmetic exception is there, number format exception is there, IO exception is there, SQL exception is there. So these are the different exception classes available in the Java. So mostly the throws keyword is used in a method declaration. So that is the more important use of the throws keyword. Now if you are talking about the throw, then you can throw an exception either a newly initiated, one more an exception that you just caught by using the throw keyword. Means we have the option, either you can throw, you need to just explicitly you want to throw a specific exception, like you just see that our code, protected code, will not generate any exception. Now you forcefully want to generate an arithmetic exception or any type of exception, you need to just write down the throw. Even using a throw keyword, you can generate a custom exception. Like suppose if you want to generate an exception if my any of the command line argument is negative. If my command line argument, first command line argument is 0 is there, then this type of program is only possible by using this custom exception. And for custom exception, you need to use the throw keyword. So this is the most important keyword as far as if you are talking about the custom exception. Like suppose if you want to generate an error message if any student is fail, like you are entering the marks and the student is become fail, then you need to generate an exception. If that type of program are asking the exam, so you need to use this concept that is called as a throw, because the inbuilt exception class are the limited class available for the specific error. But for this type of error, if you want to check the any command line argument is negative, first command line argument is 0, if any of the command line argument contain even number, so this type of the this type of program you need to use the custom exception, and for custom exception we are using a throw keyword. So this is the main difference between the throw and throws. So I will also explain all these mechanism with the program in my next video. So my next video will contain the programming session for this all the mechanism. So hope you understand all these mechanism as well as what do you mean by the exception. So this is again most important concept in a Java, that is exception handling. And this is again important question, what are the different mechanism for the exception handling? It is the most important question. So I think hope you understand all these topic that I have discussed in this particular session. So thank you very much. If you have any doubt, you can feel free to ask me. Thank you very much.